President and CEO of Peninsula Credit Union, Jim Morrell. Good morning, Jim.
Hey, Jeff.
Good to see you.
It's great to be seen. Beautiful sunny day.
First,
Actually see the blue sky this week.
I know,
it's nice.
Right? There was a lot of sunshine in downtown Shelton yesterday, as a lot of folks were chalking the sidewalks. You had some pretty poignant messages.
Yeah. There was two out in front of our branch on Railroad Avenue. One, I saw the young lady doing this, probably 9 or 10 years old. She drew a picture of a young gal like herself looking in a mirror. It said, "Caution, the mirror may be distorted by society's idea of beauty." And
Wow.
I thought that was pretty profound. And her younger brother, maybe 6 or 7 years old, did on the sidewalk Shelton Rocks in Seahawks colors. And that was really cool to see.
Very cool.
We've got these young kids in the community saying really profound and positive things about the future and the outlook. And hopefully as a community we can embrace them and let them know that they are a beautiful part of what we do around
Very
here.
cool stuff. You're on the air today to, as well, talk about Peninsula Credit Union and part of the nation's #2 branch network. We got this information from Kirk at Peninsula earlier in the month. Part of the co-op shared branch network. This has now gotten very close to overtaking the main bank branches across the nation as options for folks. This is so you can use different credit unions to access your own account. Is that how this works?
Exactly, yeah. Shared branching opens up now over 5,600 locations, other physical branch locations for our members and other credit unions that participate in that co-op shared branching network around the country. So if you're on vacation or if you're somebody that spends the winter months down in Arizona or somewhere like such as that, snowbirding, you can actually go in, and there's certain transactions that some people feel more comfortable doing in person.
Right.
If they're making a larger loan payment for their mortgage or a home equity payment, for instance, or maybe they need to get a cashier's check, they can go into one of the shared branching network locations, outlets, and just like they were walking into Peninsula Credit Union on Railroad Avenue or in Belfair off of Highway 3.
That really, I think, would probably open a lot of people's eyes to saying, well, I like the idea of a credit union. I like the fact that they're small, usually local branches, but I do travel, and I see these ATM fees here, this surcharge thing here. But this is a way to get around that.
Exactly. And, you hit on two things there. One, the credit union's local nature and understanding our communities and what our members in those communities need in terms of financial services, so we can help them in that manner. That's a big benefit. But sometimes people reflect and say, well, since it's such a small organization, or I don't see a Peninsula Credit Union sign in Dallas, Texas, or on Wall Street in New York, like I see the Chase or Bank of America brand, I know that they must be really big. Yeah. And the big news that was announced last month from the Co-op Shared Branching Network is that the Shared Branching Network itself is now the second largest branch network in the country, 5,671 branch locations. Chase Bank, who people know their logo, know their brand, 5,567, so they're third. So the Co-op Shared Branching Network, which our members have access to and other credit unions members do as well, is only beat right now by less than 500 locations to Wells Fargo. So it has that full nationwide reach and that stretch. And it extends beyond just shared branching network. But as you mentioned, with ATM fees, the average across the country for people that use a ATM that's out of their financial institution's network, plus the surcharge, is $4.57. It's a little bit less on the West Coast. It's just under $4, say in San Francisco, Seattle. But still, that's $4 for every $20 that you withdraw. That's 25% upcharge on your money. And so being part of a credit union such as Peninsula that's a member of the Co-op Shared Branching Network and the ATM network affords you that access for surcharge-free ATMs.
I feel like I may have done this a while ago with my credit union. I had to go to another credit union to deposit some money. This probably over a decade ago. And I feel like the process was a little complicated almost to the point where I may not want to do it? Is it really streamlined, or what do you need to take in with you?
It is.
Maybe I wasn't prepared. That was probably the case.
Yeah, there are a couple of pieces of detail because unlike walking into a branch on Railroad Avenue or up in Belfair of ours, that other credit union doesn't know you as we would know you.
Yeah.
So you do need to have your account number and a piece of identification so that they can go through that positive ID of yourself, because you wouldn't want just anybody fraudulently withdrawing money out of your account, because we've made this so accessible across the country, right? So there's some steps, but in terms of the network being around for a long time, better training, people knowing how to use that's really huge.
Does this also help in if I were to deposit a check through another credit union or something like that, because of what we had also talked about, the same day postings? You know, they started doing 3 a day for the postings over the electronics. Does that help too, to show that there was the deposit quicker?
Yeah, so there still is a hold, but those hold times over the last several years have decreased. So where they may have been 3 or 5 days in the past, it's now down to 2 days typically when you do a remote deposit like this. But some of those funds are released right away for you. You can also make deposits in ATM machines, and that ATM network is actually the largest ATM network in the country. Again, if you were to ask most people on the street, who in the country do you think has the largest ATM network, most people might say Bank of America. They have 16,000 ATMs that they've reported having around the United States. The co-op shared or surcharge-free ATM network has over 30,000 ATMs. So almost twice as many ATMs surcharge-free, and you can make deposits in many of those. Being part of the shared branch network, we also provide our members the ability to use a application on their phone called Sprig.
Is that what this Sprig is? I was going to ask you.
Yeah,
about that.
so you can download the Sprig application, and you can make deposits through remote deposit capture. Take a picture of your check and deposit your funds that way directly into Peninsula Credit Union's account. And if you have accounts at multiple credit unions, you can transfer funds between the accounts at those credit unions. So if you had a credit union account at OB and one at Peninsula, the Sprig application on your phone would enable you to be able to manage your money between those two institutions.
Is there a little icon that signifies that these banks, is this like a starburst or
Yeah,
something like that?
yeah, it's a little triangle. I think it's blue now for co-op shared branching, co-op surcharge free.
So that's how you can tell.
Correct.
Very
Correct.
cool. Well, you can always go to Peninsula Credit Union, and great folks that work there, obviously, from the top down. pcfcu.org is the website, and you can find them at locations all around the South Zone, especially here right in downtown Shelton and in Belfair. It's the CEO and President, Jim Morrell, talking about some good things as credit unions. You get a sense that people are really kind of getting behind these credit unions more and more?
Very much. You know, the cooperative nature of what we do for communities and that focus, and really understanding our membership. There's so many changes in products and services in the financial arena. It gets really confusing even for those of us that live in it every day.
Yeah.
So where our focus really is what is it, how can we best help you personally in your household build your financial capacity and meet you wherever that starting place is.
Very cool. All right. Well, Jim, good to talk with you as always. Bring you back, talk about some other things next week, and see what's going on with that, okay?
Sounds great.
Have a good one.